Mark chapter 1 verse 29 reads, "Now as soon as they had come out of the synagogue, they entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John." This verse may appear straightforward at first glance, but when we examine it closely, its significance becomes more profound, offering a window into the power and authority of Jesus Christ and the personal nature of his ministry. As we see in the preceding verses, Jesus had just demonstrated his authority over unclean spirits in the synagogue. The moment he leaves the synagogue, he enters the house of Simon and Andrew, accompanied by James and John. This transition from the public ministry in the synagogue to the private home of his disciples is not coincidental. It underscores a critical aspect of Christ's ministry. His authority extends beyond the public sphere into the most intimate spaces of our lives. The home, in this context, symbolizes more than just a physical dwelling. It represents the very heart of one's life, where true character is revealed and where faith must be lived out daily. Jesus stepping into Simon's house is a profound picture of his desire to be Lord over every aspect of our lives, not just in the synagogue, not just in our public expressions of faith, but in the private, unseen corners where we may think no one is watching. Consider the fact that Simon's mother-in-law was lying sick with a fever in that house, as revealed in Mark chapter 1 verse 30. The fever represents more than just physical illness. It can be seen as a symbol of spiritual weakness, doubt, or any other affliction that hinders one's walk with Christ. When Jesus enters this home, he immediately attends to her need, demonstrating that no affliction is too small or too hidden for his attention. This passage also reminds us that Jesus' power is not limited by location or circumstance. His authority is just as potent in the privacy of a home as it is in the public sphere. When he enters a life, he does so fully, bringing his healing, authority, and lordship into every area. The same Jesus, who spoke with authority in the synagogue, also tenderly ministers in the home. This challenges us to examine our own lives. Are we allowing Jesus to have full access, even in the most private and personal areas? Or are there parts of our lives where we are still trying to maintain control? In cross-referencing this passage with Revelation chapter 3 verse 20, where Jesus says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and dine with him, and he with me." We see the same principle. Jesus desires to enter into the very core of our being, to have fellowship with us in the most personal way. However, this requires a willingness on our part to open every door of our hearts to him, not just the ones we present in public. Additionally, we can see parallels in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19, where Paul writes, "Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own?" Just as Jesus entered the house of Simon and Andrew, he enters into our lives as the Holy Spirit, claiming lordship over every part of us. Mark chapter 1 verse 29 is not just a simple transition in the narrative. It is a powerful declaration of Christ's comprehensive authority and his personal involvement in our lives. It challenges us to reflect on whether we have truly invited him into every area, allowing him to cleanse, heal, and reign as Lord. Are we willing to let him into the private areas, or do we keep him confined to the public, visible aspects of our faith? The answer to that question reveals much about the depth and sincerity of our walk with Christ.